Hello, I'm Chef Krista Van Wagner, and welcome to my kitchen. Today, we are going to be preparing fried green tomatoes. One of my favorites. It's that time of the year, and I'm so happy to share my recipe with you. Fried green tomatoes. They sound so simple, and they really, really are. But I want to do them today with a crab, a roasted red pepper, and jalapeno cream sauce. So that's extra. I just wanted to add a little bit of zip to my fried green tomatoes. And as you can see, I've had a really good year, cleaned out the garden. These are my heirloom tomatoes, my yellow and the red ones. And this is what I'm left with. I've also got some Romas. So we're going to try the Romas as well. It'll be kind of fun. Usually I've just used regular. But today, let's try the Romas as well. So we're going to try to fry those up. So what will you need today? Well, here we go. And it's fried green tomatoes are quite simple. And you can just serve them just fried and as an accompaniment with your dish. But today I wanted to make it a really exciting appetizer for you, just to put a little twist on it. It's the standard breading procedure. Pretty basic. It's your flour, an egg whisked up with just a little bit of water, breadcrumbs, and I also have a bit of the cornmeal that I'll be adding with that. For our sauce, we're going to roast a red pepper, and I'm just going to slice this up, and I'm going to remove the seeds because I don't want it all that spicy. And of course, some crab. I just happen to have some Alaskan king crab. I don't season my flour. A lot of places season the flour. I like to season my tomatoes first, and that's simply done with fresh ground black pepper, kosher salt, and a little bit of granulated garlic, a pretty standard seasoning in my kitchen. Okay, let's get going. The first thing you're going to have to do is roast your red pepper. And for that, it's all you do. I know it seems so fun or so silly, but I'm going to do it right here on my burner. And we're just going to place it on there. And while I'm working on breading my tomatoes, we'll be able to just keep an eye on that, have a pair of tongs around, and when it's all nice and blackened, we're just going to pop it in a paper bag, or you can put it in a bowl or a pot with a lid on it, because we'll steam it for about 15 minutes before we rinse off all the charred skin. But what a marvelous, marvelous flavor you get. You can buy the roasted red peppers in the grocery for this. It's really not necessary to do this, but there's a few of you, and maybe you haven't seen it done. So I really wanted to just share that with you. So just keep your eye on it. I've got my tongs handy. My flame is on high, and we'll just let that burn on each side. Isn't that funny? I'm telling you to char something, telling you to burn something. But let's get our fried tomatoes all set. This is the standard breading procedure, and this we use for so many, many, many things. So here we go. My son's gluten-free, so I made my own breadcrumbs. And fresh breadcrumbs are so much better than in the can. So if you've got a few slices of bread, I just put it in the food processor. So I think that they brown up much better. Fresh is better. If you have time, make your own. This is cornmeal, and I'm just going to mix this in. It's a southern dish. What I'm thinking about right now and what I'm feeling is, how about the movie Fried Green Tomatoes? This should be a dinner to lead into movie night for the family. How's that sound? So just that little bit of cornmeal. This is a beautiful southern dish. Right now I should have some Marshall Tucker going on or something, some real good southern rock. I'm so in the mood. I can't travel right now, so let's just let's make it happen at home. So get the family together and make some fried green tomatoes and watch that movie, because I always share with you, I buy fresh ground, I use fresh ground black pepper, and I want for you to get those peppercorns and grind them in your spice grinder. It makes such a difference, so much more aromatic. So let's season our tomatoes, and I always season for a reason. So here we go. Just a little kosher salt, and hold it up high when you're seasoning. Don't focus down low like this. Hold it up high, because you're getting more surface area, and you're not just clumping the salt in one spot. A little bit of the fresh ground black pepper, and always put it on a plate. Or you can just wipe your cutting board off afterwards, but this is much neater. And a little granulated garlic. All right. I always do both sides. So here we go. Now, if you're doing chicken fingers, same idea. Season your chicken before you start. And that looks so good. A little more garlic. Now, for the standard breading procedure, it's going to be a mess. And I wish I had an assistant here today, but I don't. So the only rule for breading, this hand's for the wet, this hand's for the dry. Otherwise, you're filling your hands with big clumps. So this is gluten-free flour. I use cup for cup. Back at the restaurant, I always had to make my own gluten-free flour. It's like potato flour, tapioca flour, rice flour, and I had to mix it myself. So it's so nice to be able to buy gluten-free flour pre-made. And boy, I have to tell you, the world's changed so much. My son is celiac, so it's a much easier world these days for you. And Wegmans has such a good choice, and so does Tops. It's amazing how our world's changed. If there's any holes in this or openings, say this part still had the skin showing, just dip in here and then double dip it back in here. Okay, give it a good press, and that's pretty much it. Here we go. Let me just do at least a couple of these. I'm excited to do the Romas. I haven't done the Romas before for fried green because everyone's used to these circle. But I was like, why not? So for you today, we are going to do that. So that looks good. Okay. Remember, wet hand, dry hand. It just makes it so much neater. That red pepper is ready. So let's get that in a bag. Like I said, paper bag, or you can just use a pot with a lid on it. So let's get that going. And I'm going to fry these up. And then we'll make a nice quick sauce. All right. There we go. That's perfect. It's charred all over. And the more it's charred, the easier that skin's going to come off. So let's just place it in our baggie. I know. Can you believe that? And boy, does it smell good. And let's just place it in the baggie and just seal her up. And let's let that just sit. And let's get to our fried green tomatoes. I use coconut oil to saute in. I don't know what's with me these days, but I just know it's better for me. And I also know it breaks down in your body, unlike some of those oils that they sell that have been heated and your body just doesn't break it down. So the olive oil is great. You have to use a really good, inexpensive olive oil that's real light. You don't want an extra virgin like green olive oil. Smoking point is too low. You would never get it hot enough to actually brown these properly. All right, we're ready. Nice hot pan. And I have coconut oil, like I said, but, you know, the really best one is that avocado oil. And it's not as expensive as it used to be. So we are pan frying, so be a little generous with your oil. And let's get that up to temperature. Just hover your hand over it. When you put your tomato product in there, you don't want it to just sit there. You want it to sizzle a bit. What would happen if I put this in a cold pan was the breadcrumbs would absorb all that grease and it'd be a very, very greasy product. So the only key I have is make sure it bubbles when you put it in. So just give it a little test. Okay, there you go. We're bubbling. So I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit now. I don't need it on high. And let's just place these beautiful tomatoes in our pan. And we will golden brown. I'm looking for golden brown, okay? Let's just shake them a little bit. Make sure they're not sticking. That's good. That's good. Let's make sure that one's okay. We don't want them to stick to your pan. Just brown both sides. They don't need that long. When I cut my tomatoes, I don't cut them too thin. You'll notice mine are just a little bit thicker. The fried green tomato, what is the intrigue about a fried green tomato? Well, there's a bit of sourness to it, a bitterness to it. It's a beautiful thing. And with that nice sauce that I'll be serving it with, oh, beautiful. Okay? It is really a special dish. People don't even realize how good it is. Now, I just don't like that. This is the kind of thing I just want you to get people to try. And I thought if we put some crab on it, everyone would want to try it. So let's see how that works. And that's it. It doesn't take that long. You don't want them real mushy. You still want to have some bite to them. These are my heirloom tomatoes. These are very, very low in acidity. So you are going to notice that. Now watch that flame. So I'm turning it down now, because I just want to get them to a beautiful golden brown, and I want you to strive for that when you're cooking. Play with your heat, okay? And don't walk away. You know what I mean? At this point, it's not a time to be doing your dishes. You stand right here. And that's it. Let's see. It should be done. Okay. Yeah, that's a good looking fried green tomato. Yep, they look perfect. So strive for that perfect golden brown. We're set. Our pepper's probably ready. What I'll do before I serve these, I'm going to finish my sauce. I'll just reheat these in the oven real quick. And I'm going to use the same pan for my sauce. So I'm just going to shut that off. I'll wipe that out. And let's get to our roasted red pepper sauce. All right, that pepper's ready. Fried green tomatoes are ready. So we're just going to rinse this off under cold water. And you can see how nicely the skin just peels right off. I just love the smell of it. There we go. That is a fresh roasted red pepper. So let's clean that up and we'll process this in the food processor. Let's get rid of our seeds and tear that right out. Rinse those seeds out. But look at that. Can you imagine how quick that cooked up? It's nice. It's been steamed. You can see the steam coming out of there, I believe. So it's just a little bit warm. But it's so easy to do. If you've got peppers in your house, the yellow ones are good. The red's my favorite. And the green I really don't roast. All right, our roasted red pepper looks great. Smells great. I love using it in any kind of dips or just roast your own pepper. It's great. We're just going to process that in the food processor. Just a bit. Good. And think about what you're adding. Think about that extra flavor you're adding to your dish when you're roasting a red pepper. That charring just is so much. Feels like you did something out on the grill. So that's our roasted red pepper. All right, so jalapeno. I don't want it that hot, so I'm going to remove the seeds. So I just got my little handy dandy spoon, and I'm just going to scrape it. I cut the tip off first, and then we'll just take these out. There's a lot of the heat. It's not only in the seeds, but I think most of the heat's in the membranes. So if you want a little heat to your sauce, go ahead and don't rub it as hard as I'm doing it. I'm taking it out completely. But the heat is in those membranes. All right, so I'll just leave a little bit there. And let's just julienne that up. And julienne is just thinly slicing it. Okay, that is for our sauce. Let me get rid of those seeds. We don't want them in our sauce. And let's just take that down. There we go. And I'm just going to julienne it. I would love rings, but I had to get rid of those seeds. So there we go. And just thinly slice it. Fresh. These are from the garden as well. I mean, I've been so blessed this year. It was a good garden year. And let's get started on that sauce. This is what's going to set your fried green tomatoes apart from everybody else's. So let's get going. For the sauce, what I have is heavy cream, white wine. I have shallots, échalotes in French. Once again, this is what takes you up another level. Those shallots impart so much flavor. They're like a cross between a garlic and an onion. There's nothing like it. And you can find them in every grocery store. So I recommend that for the sauce. This is the Alaskan king crab that I cleaned. Now, if you don't have the king crab, you can use the lump crab or go ahead and even cut up the little crab logs that you can buy in the grocery at the fish department. They're a little less expensive than this, or omit the crab completely. I just was trying to take you up to another level, and I had it around. That's how I cook, what I have in the fridge. Here's your roasted red pepper. You need a bit of butter and some fresh lemon. The lemon we're using for the acidity. All right, and that is what's going to take your sauce from here to here. But how about a little salt and pepper too? Can't forget that. And that will finish our sauce. So once again, we've got the cream, white wine, the roasted red pepper pureed, beautiful eschalots, our jalapenos, crab, black pepper, fresh ground, kosher salt, and a little bit of butter. And we're sauteing in butter because I'm not pan searing. It's not necessary to bring that to up such a high level. Plus it imparts flavor. And as I say, it's always better with butter. So you can use this sauce that I'm doing today. It's great on anything. It's good on just a piece of fish or, whatever you would like. So melt your butter. So we're going to saute our shallots in our butter. And the beautiful thing about making sauces Okay, because I want to get these first. I want my jalapenos to still have a little bite to them. The shallots, I want to cook them completely down till transparent and fragrant. And if you only knew right now how good the kitchen smells just from these shallots. I like black pepper, and I add it now as well. I want to bring it through that butter, and it's going to come right up through our sauce. I've just released so much flavor. Here we go. Okay, when I say these sauces are fast, they're fast. And here we go. Saute that out and bring it up to your nose. We taste with our nose. We smell. It smells so good. That's ready. And now we're going to deglaze our pan. And when I say deglaze, we're just going to bring all the flavors up from the bottom of that pan. And we'll cook this down a little bit. With white wine, you're going to ask me what kind do I use. I wouldn't use a white wine that I wouldn't drink. But I don't spend a lot of money on the white wine that I cook with, but I still should be able to drink it. I don't buy that bottled cooking wine. You know, buy a bottle that's on sale or something. This is now still on high, as you notice. A lot of people are afraid they cook at medium the whole time. I want this fast, all right? So right now we're bringing that down, and then we'll finish it with our cream and our roasted red pepper. Just a little bit of the acidity will be the lemon. You're also getting acidity from that white wine. That is what it is bringing to the sauce. So, oh, smells so good. And it's almost there. Just let it set. Watch the bubbles, okay? Don't walk away. Stay right here. I love making sauces. That was, and it is, and it always will be, what makes our dishes. And now you can see why. Because we're doing it a la minute. You do this right before you serve it. Okay, now we are going to bring our heavy cream down. We're going to reduce that naturally. We're not going to thicken this with any sort of a roux, any cornstarch. The beauty of this sauce is it's lighter. Okay, back in the day, the French always finished everything with a roux. I am doing a natural reduction, and you got to watch your bubbles. Okay, and you can see how they'll change during the time, the cooking time. You'll see how they'll change. Watch them. Just watch them change. There we go. It's already starting to thicken. I'm going to add my roasted red pepper now. Yeah, this is really, really good served with fish. Chicken sounds good too. Just a pan-seared chicken breast. That looks really good. I'm just going to give it one more head of the roasted red. Very generous today. The lemon juice, the acidity, we need that as well. So let me just add a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon. You know, I use a lot of lemon in all of my cooking. It just brightens the food. There's no way to describe the difference in a sauce. And just something's wrong with it. It's not jumping in your mouth. Add some fresh squeezed lemon. And that'll do it for you. And that's it. This is your sauce. I'm going to finish it with just a little salt. I've already got my pepper in there. And I always ask you to please taste. Okay, just taste. Let's see where we're at. The sauce is just about ready. And that's what I hope you learned today, is how quick a beautiful sauce could be made. Let's see. And it is quick. But it's still on high, remember? Oh, that's good. That's real good. It needs just a little more salt. And let's try that one more time. I'm using the bottom of the spoon. Okay. Yeah, it picked it right up. That's good. Okay, finished. I'm going to add my crab because I don't want to overcook it. You just want to heat it. I don't think I need all that. And that is the sauce. A la minute. That's the word of the day. At the last minute. And let's put this dish together, by the way. I'm so proud of it. And I can't wait to bring this to my table. So we'll just place our sauce in the very center, and we'll work off of that. Boy, do you think that's enough crab? Oh, I think so. I think that's beautiful. And let's just give him a nice fried green. And also, I'm looking forward to, there, that looks great. We got a little something different going on. Now, as far as garnishing the plate, tomato is a tomato. I just happen to have some cherry tomatoes still available from the garden. And what I would like to recommend is a marigold. Marigolds are edible. There's a very interesting flavor to them. So we're just going to take a few from the center and we'll just sprinkle that on the side. You really don't need much, and that's it. And I think, yeah, here we go. We got to take those beautiful, oh, I don't know. I wish you were here to join me. I don't know. This is what I've been thinking about today. So that is our, let me get rid of that little one off there. That is our fried green tomatoes. And I hope that you enjoyed this segment. And thanks for joining me in my kitchen. And I look forward to seeing you again. I would love to hear what you thought of this dish. So please leave your comments below. If you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel.